All right, so we'll start now the Mamer Biur. That's the sixth Mamer in the Parshas Naso, which is a Biur on the previous Mamer, the Mamer of Tevרכו as Bnei Yisrael. And this is with some of the sources and more shorthand and which the previous Mamer is based on. Biur al pasuk Tevרכו Chulu, an explanation of the Mamer Tevרכו. Hine Inyan Vayikra Adam Shemes L'Cheidein Muban. He starts off that it says that Adam called names to all the animals, whatever the names are. They called names, but that's not understood based upon. We know that every Hashem created the world by Sarah Mamoris, and every created being had its energy from the Sodom Amoris through the various transformations, through the different ways to breathe the words out. So everything, that's the way they were created. That was the highest. Since the person was created last, and all the creatures were already in the world, so they must have had already names before, because that's what they were. Their energy of their existence is their name, is the Chayis Sodom Amoris. So what does it mean that the Adam called the names? And the Rebbe will explain calling the names, as he mentioned briefly in the previous Mamer, that he brought down the Chayis now to yes, they had a Chayis L'Chatchila, but we bring down a new Chayis in which we elevate them to the level of Adam, and we elevate them to godliness. So what he says is L'Cheidein Muban. That's the Chayr is not understood. The Sefer Shabbat Chelik Beis, over there it says the Tanya in the second portion. That's in the Shari Yichud V'Amuna. Shashem Asher Yikru Loi, that the name that you call the created being, who Hatziruv HaMachayos HaNimshach Masor Mamoris. That is the combination that vitalizes that item from the 10 sayings. And therefore, if so, in that case, they must have had the names before the person was created, because they were in existence. The human was created last. After the creation of the Demsim Mechayu Kemaimer, like we say, Afilu Yitush Kodmach. That if a person, the Gemara says, that if a person will hold himself arrogant, so then we'll tell him that even a Yitush, even a mosquito comes before you. So that means that everything came before the human person was created. So everything had to have its name. The Yitush had its name, everything had its name. So what does it mean that the person called a name for them if they already had the name? The idea is, like I had written in the previous Mamer, that he called their names. What do you mean called? He brought them out from the hidden to the revealed. That's the way he elevated them. Why is the Adam elevating them? Because the Adam comes from a higher source. He's level bitl. They are from the world of Toyu. And when you call the names, bring them out from the hidden to the revealed. He draw down to them the bitl. So basically, Korah means that he brings down the level of bitl. What do we find? He gives you an example. We know Pinchas ben Yair had a donkey, was on a very high level. He didn't want to eat, he didn't want to steal. The Gemara says different stories. So what does it mean? Because that donkey was brought down already, that level, the higher level in them. And therefore, he was like a corrected donkey in this world, which most donkeys don't have. He was like in the level of the animal of Sheishis Mebresis. Shatiknom Odom Horishon. He called them the names, Vayikra Lam Shemes. Odom Shemes, he corrected them. By Shekos Likutei Torah Parshas Eike b'Tayim Mitzvos Ein Shom Barichus. Ma'im Shekos Di Ramasch v'Dav Moshe Rosh Matzos. V'Omlom Achshov. So what happens now? So then, Adam did the work, and Adam basically elevated all the animals to their spiritual level. But now we have to elevate them by when we eat them, when we make a bracha before and after. That's the way we elevate them. However, now we need to bless them. Because through the sin they have descended, so now we have to elevate them. How do we elevate them? When we eat from the if you make a bracha in the beginning and the end. That's the way they're elevated, they're included in the level of Odom. So now that we're talking about that, we have to elevate and bring about a change in that level. So now we can understand also the pasuk. The Torah calls the Yidden, when they come down in this world, calls them like they were sown in the world. Because just like when you sow is to bring back a lot more, you sow grain in the ground and you bring a lot of crops back. Same thing is when you sow the nefesh, when you sow the Yidden in the world, they elevate all the nefesh habamis as well. But so, Zarati is Beis Yisrael, I will sow the house of Israel, or it says Oir Zarua, a light that has been sown. Nefesh Elikis, that references the godly soul. Mimad de Tikkun, from the level of Ma of Tikkun, name of Hashem Ma of Tikkun Atzilus Nislapshe Beguf Benefesh Habahamis, that has dressed up in the body in the animal soul. Lahalis Ulevader Rapach Netzutzin Chulu, to elevate and to sort out the 288 sparks. Through davening later on, meaning after he's mevarer, after he eats the food, after he uses the Dvarim Gashmi, and he's mispalel, and he says echad, and he says ba'havto, with the power of that what he's eating and drinking. And that's why you need to daven every day. Why? Because since the powers of the body are renewed every day from the energy of the food, they need to be elevated every day because there's a new energy every day. How are we going to? So every day you have to elevate them. The elevation takes place from davening. That's the elevation. Mayim nukvim is his nefesh. Be'echod b'kriyas Shema, when you say echod by the Shema, utfilo, and the davening of the Amidah, shenikra sulam, which is called the ladder, which goes up. Now, in the brackets, b'mokum achav d'ura maschil hamagbi lo shavas chulu. B'ayim ha'shekosu b'inyav azraatiyah li ba'oretz b'divra maschil b'hi b'shalach pari, gam b'divra maschil shishim heim ha'melochis b'inyan erzuru chulu. V'hinei Nemar, so when you sow and grow with this, we say Yevarechecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. So basically, this brachas of the Kohanim goes on this sowing of what we have to accomplish in the world. So bracha bereish. So what is the first, in the beginning, first we need the blessing. That is, that should be, we should get from above the power that we should have success in our isarusa de latata, in our davening, in our meditation, and what we do below, that it should be the blessing with success. That's the first bracha. Yivarecha Hashem v'yishmerecha. The inyan bracha shniya. What is the second bracha? Is yoyer Hashem pone v'lecha. Hiyamshochas mayim dechurim. That's the masculine water. Sha'achar ha'alos man v'sarusa de latata, which comes after the elevation of the mayim nukvim and the sarusa de latata. So in order to have that, so that is the second blessing. Kihine, why do we need the sarusa de la'ela to have this sorting out? So he's going to explain that what comes milmata l'maylo is limited. Not fully. So after we do, we still need the bracha from Hashem. Okay, let's leave it over here. And we'll continue tomorrow, Mr. Shem.